Thanks for joining us. I'm Drew Carney. Topping our news here this afternoon is the man accused of having his dog attack at least 2 people in downtown Portland. Earlier this morning, he pleaded not guilty to charges of assault and bias crime. 29-year-old Zachary Hay appeared in court today. The charges against him stem from accusations that he used a racial slur against a black man and then ordered his dog to attack. It happened just over 2 weeks ago near Southwest 13th and Alder. The dog reportedly injured a second person at that same time, and police say there could also be a third victim. Hayes' next court appearance is scheduled for July 12th. There's a picture of him on your screen there a moment ago. We're going to hear from one of the victims involved in this case coming up tonight on KGW News at 11. Meanwhile, investigators are trying to figure out what exactly caused a 2-alarm fire at a car dealership in Beaverton last night. It happened just before midnight at this Buick GMC dealership on Southwest Canyon Road. It took Tualatin Valley Fire and Rescue about 40 minutes to get the flames under control. No one was injured, but TVFNR says the fire damaged at least a dozen cars. Oregon State Police are investigating a murder in Clackamas County. Police found the 42-year-old victim yesterday morning on the shoulder of I-5 near the Charbonneau exit south of Wilsonville. The investigation into who committed the murder continues. Anyone with information about this should contact Oregon State Police. A local family is calling on the state to improve its policies and oversight of long-term care facilities in Oregon. 6 months ago, that family's 83-year-old grandmother, who was living with dementia, managed to walk away from her care facility in Sandy. She was later found dead just a half-mile away. Here's KGW's Alma McCarty with an update.
In a committee room in Salem,
bear with me.
Tim Hyun gathers courage.
I could have never imagined being here today. That anything that what had transpired this last Christmas would have ever happened.
He's telling the story of what happened to his grandmother, 83-year-old Kisun Hyun.
Those who were close to her just called her Harmony. She was the embodiment of what it means to be harmonious in life.
But they didn't come here to tell lawmakers about her life, rather her death.
My grandmother didn't die because of old age. She didn't die because it was her time. She died because of complete and utter failure from those who claim to be trusted, who we put faith in to care and watch over her.
The now shut down Mount Hood Senior Living in Sandy was that memory care facility. Diagnosed with dementia, Kisun went missing 24 hours after moving in. Her body was found a half-mile away on Christmas Day.
I miss her deeply. Our mom deserved better.
Kisun's daughter, Alex Smith, praying the state will do better. More specifically, that Oregon's Department of Human Services will, through state policy changes.
We must hold DHS accountable to strengthen licensing requirements and reduce safety risks by providing much closer oversight, regulation, and training of all long-term care facilities in Oregon.
I want to begin by acknowledging the families in this space. There are no words. There are no words.
DHS's director of the Office of Aging and People with Disabilities telling them she's limited in what she could say due to pending litigation.
It may seem like I'm not wanting to cooperate or not wanting to share, and that's just not the case. I take safety in the events that happened very seriously, extremely seriously.
Alma McCarty, KGW News.
All right, before we turn to Rod Hill for a look at our forecast, we have this headline from the coast. The Oregon Health Authority is telling people to stay out of the ocean at Tolovana State Park in Cannon Beach because of unsafe levels of fecal bacteria. The advisory came out yesterday, and the health authority says it'll let us know when it's lifted. Bottom line, the beach is still open there. Just don't go into the water. Copy that, Rod Hill?
Yes. Now, that was not the beach today. This is the beach today.
Yeah,
look behind me.
Yeah. You want to go to the beach today, but you can't go in the water.
Yes. Tip toe on the sand, keep your toes out of the water. Exactly right. And folks doing that right now, you see the tide's out, so it looks like you can walk right up to Haystack Rock. Beautiful sunshine. Temperature in Cannon Beach, 58 degrees. And it is pretty much clear up and down the coastline. It is partly cloudy up in Astoria, but Lincoln City's clear. And there's a breeze right there. You can see the grass blowing around. This is the view from Snookwinds Casino Resort. It's also clear down in Newport. And inland area is the same. It's truly just a gorgeous day. The chances for rain have ended for the month of May. All dry today, will be sunny like this tomorrow, and of course June begins on Saturday. This is the Oregon Veterans Home camera out in the Dalles, where it is 66 degrees at noon. And this is fun. Look at all the folks out enjoying the blue skies. This is the end of the Oregon Trail Interpretive Center. Looks like they're having some sort of a program or open house down there at this hour of folks out on the grass enjoying. Downtown Portland sitting at 62 degrees, so we're on track to get up to about 72. Clearly, literally, there are no troubles with any of your outdoor plans for the remainder of today. We'll be 64 at 8 o'clock. Changes hit us hard starting Sunday, and that's ahead in my 7-day forecast. Drew?
All right, Rod, we'll check back in with you in a few minutes. Right now, we want to get back to our local news headlines. In Vancouver, a pastor is calling a fire, I should say, that broke out at his church over the weekend malicious. So the fire started Sunday morning at the City Harvest Church on Northwest 9th near 78th Street. The Clark County Sheriff's Office says someone broke a window and then started the fire. It didn't spread very far before the church's sprinkler system put it out, but the sprinkler system caused a lot of water damage to the floors and the carpet.
It's an unfortunate thing. It's something we don't see very often, fortunately. So not an investigation that we have to deal with a whole lot, but yeah, it certainly is one of those things that you'd say kind of shocks the conscience that you don't expect to see.
There's still no word on any suspects. Anyone with information should contact the Clark County Sheriff's Office. The city of Portland and a company it contracted to fix broken windows still hasn't addressed a problem that first came to light last summer. At the time, the city ombudsman found the company had been overcharging those businesses by thousands of dollars to board up their broken windows. For more on this story, here's KGW's Catherine Cook.
At Hippo Hardware and Trading Company, you'll find a boarded up window on the East Burnside storefront.
We were closed and somebody threw something through our window.
It's a small piece of a much bigger story. One that's not about the graffiti or even the vandal.
Oh, they didn't steal anything, just smashed it.
The story is about how this and other busted windows in Portland are getting fixed.
And next morning, get a call from our coworkers, hey, somebody boarded up the window. They're like, oh, cool, Good Samaritan, rad.
Manager Jackson Wooldridge posted about it on social media. The comments offered some clarification.
And then through that, realized like, oh, this wasn't a Good Samaritan. We don't know exactly who it is, but they might be charging us for it.
Often in these situations, city officials work with a company called 1-800-BOARD-UP. Here's how the contract with the company is supposed to work, according to the city ombudsman. When police respond to damage, if the business owner can't be reached, dispatchers call the contractor directly. That contractor is then supposed to invoice the city for their work. And then the city pays those costs and invoices the property owner. Now, a 2023 report from the city ombudsman, a watchdog of sorts, says that contractor, 1-800-BOARD-UP, often billed property owners directly, charging them much more than when they invoice the city, a violation of their contract. The Ombudsman's office found a whopping 61% of requests recorded by dispatch were never invoiced to the city, and neither were 39% of requests noted in police reports. They found most invoices sent directly to property owners were around $150 over the contracted rate. KGW reached out to 1-800-BOARD-UP and is waiting for a response. Back at Hippo Hardware.
Sort of like throwing out nails in front of the tire shop.
Wooldridge is still waiting for an invoice to know who they owe for this board up and how much. Though for him, this story is bigger than paying for repairs.
I would like to see some sort of service or enforcement to help people that they don't feel the need to break our windows.
Again, that was Catherine Cook reporting for us this afternoon. A couple of notes to Catherine's report. The city's Community Safety Division responded this week saying it's conducting its own investigation and they would hold the contractor accountable if evidence shows a breach of contract. Although the city also added that their contract does not prohibit 1-800-BOARD-UP from billing private parties.